Five Deuce Hoover Groovers were started in the 1960s, way before the formation of Crips. They were originated in the area of 52nd Street and Hoover Street, hence the name, which is between Vermont Avenue and Figueroa Avenue. It was not until the mid-1970s that the Hoover Groovers formed an alliance with the West Side Crips and changed their name to the Hoover Crips. The Five Deuce Hoover Crips are also a subset of many of the Hoover sets. However, they are the only Hoover gang in the set to still identify themselves as Crips, as the other subsets identify themselves as Hoover Groovers. The other subsets are 4 Trey Hoover, 5'9" Hoover Criminal, 7'4" Hoover Criminal, and 8 Trey Hoover Criminal, 9 Deuce Hoover Criminal, and 9'4" Hoover Criminal. 5 Deuce Hoovers can be spotted wearing the color blue. 5 Deuce Hoovers can be spotted wearing the color blue like all the other Crip gangs, since they are the last Hoover set to still be a Crip and not criminal. Also, since they are Hoover gang, they still can be also spotted wearing the color orange to identify with the rest of the Hoovers. One particular item of clothing that is not unusual to be seen members of the 5 Deuce Hoover gangs wearing is clothing like the Houston Astro logo. The Houston Astro logo is an orange 5-pointed star with the large H in the middle of it. The surrounding color around the H is blue. This embodies the colors and letters that represent the 5 Deuce Hoovers, with the 5-point star representing the number 5 and the H representing the Hoover, for H for Hoover, and the blue and orange obviously for the gang. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little history on the 5 Deuces. Yes sir, shout out to my boys from Hoover. Next up, the yellow wearing football Steeler team jersey wearing Rolling 20s, also known as Rolling 20 Crips. They are the second largest African American gang in the city of Long Beach, Eastside Long Beach to be exact, Long Beach, California. Their neighborhood is primarily south of 21st Street, east of Long Beach Boulevard, and west of Orange Avenue. The Rolling 20s are known to sport primary colors of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They also wear the New Orleans Saints black and gold. Let's not forget about that while we right here digging. Members of the Rolling 20s are known to brand the bodies with tattoos of the Steelers, which is a dead giveaway to their enemigos. Their cliques consist of 21st Street, obviously, 20th Street, 19th Street, 17th Street, 15th Street, 11th Street, and 10th Street. The Young 20 Lopes, YTL, later emerged as a subset of the Rolling 20s, mainly consisting of the younger generation. The Rolling 20s are internationally known and most popular gang in Long Beach due to their media exposure after being linked to platinum-selling rapper superstar Snoop Dogg and other notable artists with ties to the set, such as Nate Dogg, Dash Dillinger of the Dog Pound, Goldie Loke of the East Side, C-Note, and many others. They're allies and rivals. Let's get into it. The Rolling 20s are allies with the 80s, West Coast Crips, and many other gangs. But you know what? They really identify, we getting too deep. I'm gonna say that for another video. They really identify themselves with the colors yellow. The Crips, obviously, they wear blue, you know what I'm saying, but yellow, and they identify for like the millionth time with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they sometimes seldomly, probably some members often wear the Saints, the black and gold. Black and gold never fold, baby. Next up, we got
right here. Our colors is brown. We wear brown and blue, and this Fudgetown Mafia.
Yes, sir. The Eastside Fudgetown Mafias are African American street gang founded in the unincorporated neighborhood of Watts in the South Los Angeles district of California during the 1970s. Their neighborhood spreads west of Wilmington Avenue to Mona Boulevard in the east, between 105th Street in the north towards Santa Ana Boulevard in the south. The Fudgetown Crips fall under the Eastside Crips, Mafia Crips, and Watts Crips card. They're allies of most gangs who fall under the same banner. Members are known to sport brown articles of clothing along with the traditional blue associated with the Crips to signify their neighborhood. In their area, which they claim as their territory, is located directly south of their fiercest rivals, the Grape Street Watts. Being Crips, the Fudgetown Mafias are rivals to both Bloods and Piru sets. Some of these rivals include the Bounty Hunters, Hacienda Village, 9 Deuce Bebop Watts Bishops, and the Circle City Pyrus. Due to the changing demographics in Watts, the Fudgetown Crips are also rivals to a number of Hispanic gangs too, as well, like the Vadio Grapes and South Los 13. They are allies of all gangs under the Mafia Crip umbrella, such as the Main Street Mafia Crips, Beachtown Mafia Crips, Blue Gate Mafia Crips, and the 99 Watt Mafia Crips. The Fudgetown Crips are also formed Also formed a partnership with the Watts Franklin Square Crips, Front Street Watt Crips, and the original Front Hood Compton Crips. Yes, sir. Shout out to the Fuzz Towns. But next up, the Grape Streets. Okay, let's get into it, man. First of all, shout out to my Grapes. I have a lot of homies, real solid niggas. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that. It is what it is. The Grape Street Watt Crips are primarily an African-American street gang located in the Jordan Down housing projects on the east side in Watts District of South Los Angeles, California. The Jordan Down housing project spread from Grape Street to 97th Street between Alameda Street and 103rd Street, 103rd Street, 103. If you know, you know. Shout out to 104th Street too. The Grape Street Watts sport the color purple to show their affiliation to the Grape Street. Grapes are purple, so they wear purple, you know what I'm saying? So when you see a lot of purple, that's how you know 03 Greedo and his set and all them in the house, you know what I'm saying? Free 03, but you know the Grapes is in the house when you see a lot of purple. They have several cliques though, such as Baby Lokes, 103rd Street, Dusttown, you know, and many more. The Grape Streets are the second largest gang in Watts, behind the Bounty Hunters and the Nickerson Garden housing projects. Besides PJ Watts, located in Imperial Courts, they're the second, you know what I'm saying? So Bounty Hunters is the first. They originated in the Watts Barrio Grape. So that's real history though. Grape Street Watts were originally called Watts Barrio Grape and Hispanic street gang, which is a combination of Mexicans as well as blacks. However, by the 1970s, the Latino members at some point aligned themselves with the Mexicans because the prison and politics, you know what I'm saying? And by the 70s, it was really segregated, you know what I'm saying? So educational information, though, you know how we get in these videos, led them to their alliance with the Southside Barrio Grape, and then the Grape Streets went to Grape Street Watt Crips. Therefore, the black affiliates of Watts Barrio Grape formed the Watts Baby Lokes, that's real history, Grape Street Crips, and claimed the Jordan Down housing projects as their headquarters. Nevertheless, both gangs has preserved a family alliance with each other. You know what I'm saying? They're really tight, they rock with each other. But that's besides the point, man. In the 1970s, that's when they started. And, you know, the color purple, that's how they identified themselves with. You know what I'm saying? Grapes, a lot of them get the grape tattoos. And, you know, and one thing about Watts, what's interesting about them is the Mexican Barrio Grape and Grape Street Watt Crips, they're really tight, bro. They're like family, you know what I'm saying? So I love that shit, man. Tap in, like for more content like this. We're going crazy, Roughneck TV.